I've never had anything handed to me, not a dime, not a break. I'm 33 now, and every piece of furniture in my apartment, every crack in the walls, even the keys in my pocket, they all carry the weight of years I spent building a life from scratch. I started working at 16, mornings before school, weekends, summers, first at a gas station, then moving furniture, then construction. I didn't go to college. I couldn't afford to take 4 years off chasing a degree. I worked, saved, lived small, ate cheap, fixed my own truck, didn't take vacations while other guys my age were clubbing or flying to Cancun. I was laying drywall and putting cash into a savings account labeled someday, and someday came. After 13 years of working double shifts, side gigs, and sleeping on worn-out mattresses, I bought my first apartment. Nothing fancy, just a 2-bedroom in a modest complex outside the city. But it was mine, paid the down payment myself, signed every document with my own hand, no co-signer, no help, just me. Then there's my sister, Rachel, 27, bright smile, soft voice, always someone else to catch her when she falls. My parents dote on her like she's spun from gold. She's lived in 3 cities, failed at 4 jobs, and every time she messes up, someone swoops in to clean it up. She's the baby, the creative spirit, the one they never say no to. But me? I'm the one who learned early. If you want anything in this life, you better be ready to bleed for it. It was a Saturday morning like any other. I just finished my coffee, had the game on low volume, and was fixing a cabinet door that had been hanging crooked. Peaceful, quiet, my kind of morning. Then I heard the truck, loud, backing up into the lot like it owned the place. I looked out my window and froze. A U-Haul. My sister Rachel, stepping out in leggings and a crop top, waving at 2 of her friends unloading boxes. One of them had her cat. Another was pulling a suitcase. I blinked, thinking maybe I was dreaming. She didn't even knock. She walked in like it was her name on the lease. Hey, she sang, dropping her purse on my coffee table. I hope it's cool we're a little early. Mom and Dad said you were fine with it. Fine with what? I asked, standing there, still holding a screwdriver, moving in. She grinned, spinning once in the living room. This place is actually kinda cute. I thought it'd be smaller. I didn't speak at first, just looked at her, looked at the boxes, at her friends. Now halfway up my stairs, Rachel, what the hell are you talking about? She blinked, confused. Didn't they tell you? Mom said you agreed. Said it's better if I live here for a while, just until I figure stuff out. My pulse kicked up. I put the screwdriver down, slow. Rachel, this is my apartment. Mine. You're not moving in. But it's family, she said. As if that explained everything. And you don't even use the second bedroom. I don't have to, I snapped. Because it's mine, she laughed awkwardly. Wow, someone's touchy. No, I said, voice flat. Someone's being disrespected in his own home. That same afternoon, I called my parents. I wasn't even angry yet, just stunned. My dad answered. I didn't waste time. Did you tell Rachel she could move into my apartment? A pause, then, casual as a Sunday paper. Well, yes, we thought it made sense. I laughed, not because it was funny, but because it was the only thing keeping me from yelling. You thought it made sense? You didn't even ask me. Mom picked up on the other line. Honey, we didn't think you'd mind. You live alone, and Rachel really needs a fresh start in my apartment. I asked, the one I worked 15 years to buy? Mom's voice went syrupy, the kind that used to guilt me into finishing my vegetables. Don't be so dramatic. It's just temporary, and you have your work. It's not like you're home that much. And what? I said, voice rising. You figured I'd just step aside? Hand over my home like I didn't earn it? Dad chimed in again, firmer this time. Son, this is about family. Rachel's your sister. We raised you to put family first. That hit hard, like I'd failed some moral test. You didn't raise me to be a doormat. I said quietly. You're being selfish, Mom snapped. She's your sister. She's struggling. We all struggled. I shot back. The difference is, I didn't expect anyone to fix it for me. There was silence on the line, thick and bitter. Then Dad, you should really think about what kind of man you want to be. I hung up without another word. For a long minute I just stood there, phone in hand, heart pounding. I didn't know what felt worse, what they said, or the fact that a part of me still wanted to believe they meant well. I invited them to meet me at a diner near my place, neutral ground, nothing fancy, just coffee, booths, and a little space to breathe. I got there early, sat by the window. When they walked in, Mom, Dad, and Rachel trailing behind, I stood up but didn't smile. We ordered drinks, Small talk died fast. I cleared my throat. Let me be very clear. I'm not giving up my apartment. I'm not sharing it. I'm not moving out. This conversation ends with that understood. Rachel blinked, stunned. Wait, what? After everything? I cut her off. Rachel, I worked for that place. It's not a spare room in Mom and Dad's house. It's mine, legally, financially, emotionally mine. Mom's voice wavered. But she needs help. She's needed help for a long time, I said. But enabling isn't help. I won't be another safety net. I'm done. Dad's jaw clenched. This isn't how we raised you, actually, I said. This is exactly how you raised me, to be responsible, to stand on my own. And now that I've done that, you want me to step aside because it's inconvenient for you. Rachel's eyes filled with tears. So you're just turning your back on family. I didn't flinch, no. I'm setting boundaries with people who never respected mine. Mom looked away, dabbing her eyes. Dad leaned back in his seat, arms crossed. No one spoke. I finished my coffee, stood up, and said, this isn't about being cruel. It's about being done pretending I owe more than I've already given. And then I walked out for once. I didn't feel guilty. A few weeks later, I left for a 3-day work trip to Denver. I felt uneasy before I even boarded the plane. Something in my gut told me things weren't finished. I'd already changed the alarm codes and warned the building's front desk, but I still left a note for the property manager. If anything weird happens, I said, call me. Day 2. I got the call. She's here, the voice said. With movers, says she's supposed to be moving in. Rachel, I stepped out of a meeting and called the building's security line. They'd blocked her at the lobby. Thank God. She tried that. My brother said it's fine, act again. She even cried. But the guard had the memo and didn't budge. I thanked them, then pulled up my home security feed. Sure enough, there she was, my sister, standing outside with 2 friends and a moving truck, yelling into her phone, trying to call someone, probably me. Boxes stacked on the sidewalk. My name still on the doorbell. I sat in my hotel room that night, staring at the footage, heart pounding. My hands shook, not from fear, but from something colder, anger, disbelief, a kind of betrayal that cuts deeper because it comes with a smile. The next morning, I called a locksmith and had the door locks changed again. Then I called my lawyer. I want something in writing, I said, something official, a cease and desist if we need to. He didn't even sound surprised. Smart move, he said. You're doing the right thing. I hung up and sat in silence, feeling like my own blood had turned to ice. It wasn't just about the apartment anymore. It was about respect and how easily even your own family can feel entitled to what you bled for. By Monday, the letter was ready. My lawyer drafted it sharp and cold. Rachel was not welcome on my property, and any further attempts to enter would be considered trespassing. I sent it certified. Signature required. The reaction was instant. You've lost your mind. Mom texted. What kind of person threatens their own sister? Dad called me a paranoid control freak. Rachel left a voicemail in tears. Are you seriously treating me like a criminal? I didn't answer. Instead, I had 2 new cameras installed, one at the door, another inside the hallway. I filed a police report too, not pressing charges yet, but making it clear I was drawing a legal line. That night, sitting in the glow of the surveillance feed, I felt empty, not angry, just hollow. These were people I'd trusted, family who now saw me not as a son or a brother, but as a wallet with a lock they didn't own the key to. I wasn't just protecting my home. I was protecting the last piece of myself I hadn't already given away. It was my Aunt Marlene, Mom's older sister, who finally stepped in. This has gone too far, she said. You all need to talk. Honestly, she hosted the meeting at her place. Neutral territory again, just me, Rachel, and our parents, seated in a too-quiet living room. I didn't yell. I spoke slowly, clearly. I told them about the years I spent alone, about earning everything with no safety net, about how it felt watching them praise Rachel for stumbling, while I was punished for standing on my own. Rachel stared at her hands. I didn't realize, she finally said. I just thought someone would always catch me. I'm sorry. Mom's lips pressed tight. Dad looked away. Old habits don't die easy. I'm not your enemy, I said, but I won't be used. For once, they didn't argue, just sat with the weight of it. Maybe it wasn't full understanding, but it was a crack in the wall, a start. It's been 6 months. The apartment feels different now, lighter. I repainted the walls, changed the floors in the bedroom, new locks, new curtains, new peace. Not just a space anymore, a boundary, a line that says, this is mine. Rachel's living in a small place across town. She's working retail, paying her own bills. We talk. Occasionally, carefully, something's shifted in her. Less entitlement, more silence before she speaks. Mom and Dad? We're polite. Birthdays, holidays, nothing more. I don't expect change from them. I don't need it. Some nights I sit on my couch, lights low, music on, and I just breathe. No noise, no invasion. Just a man who fought to hold his ground and won. See. People talk about family like it's sacred, untouchable, but love without respect is just control in disguise, and boundaries? They're not walls to keep people out. They're doors with locks for those who've proven they can be trusted with the key.